ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Real New York Rangers Pucked Up podcast. I'm your host, Ian, and I have with me today, I got Rob, who's actually on Skype with me today.
Hey, real fan. Going, guys.
Sorry, there's slightly a bit of a lag. It might be on my end. We have the NHL Draft coming up here tomorrow night. We'll get to a little bit of details about what we think is going to go on. I'm sorry, I got dogs moving in the background. We'll discuss, things like, the Ulf Samuelsson move here. We'll talk about the Las Vegas expansion. We'll talk about some unrestricted free agents that we think we should sign. We'll also talk about our unrestricted free agents, our restricted free agents as well. Talk about possible moves that we think could or would happen or should happen. And we'll start with the Yandle trade. How do you think that went? Well,
I got with it for Yandle. Pretty much what they gave up was his rights as far as Florida being the first to be able to sign him. And a 6th rounder and a 4th rounder next year isn't that bad.
Yep, and we got the 4th rounder for next year because of the fact that he signed a contract with them, which was 6 years, 11.5, right?
He got $6.35 million per year for 7 years.
Okay, so my math is way off. My bad.
And 6 years of that has a no-move clause.
Yeah, which I think if we would have signed him to that, we pretty much would have screwed ourselves.
You'd already be complaining about Jeff Gordon instead of Glenn Sather.
Yeah, we're already locked up on no move and no trade clauses till pretty much the end of extinction of mankind here.
Oh, you're not kidding. It's crazy.
And we pretty much didn't
have Mark Stahl, Dan Girardi.
Yep.
Ryan McDonough.
Yep.
Derek Brassard.
Let's say I think Henrik Lundqvist is on that list, and Rick Nash.
Yep, Nash, and that's the ones that are on it.
Yeah, and that just right there, that's a lot of money that we're tied up in for years. But there are a couple of possible things that could happen with via trades or anything. We got.
Stefan's name keeps coming up because he doesn't have a no-move clause or a no-trade clause.
Yeah, Kreider's name has been dropped a couple of times as well.
Yeah, I think it's because if he had a totally crappy year last year,
yes,
he would not be getting a raise.
Oh, no.
He picked it up towards the end of the season, came out with decent numbers, he'll be getting a raise. I don't think it should be much, but that's why his name is out there.
If you can bring us something great for Kreider, I'd be okay with parting ways with him. But as of right now, I still think he's young. I still think he has a little more time to develop. He should be developed by now, being in the league, how long he has been.
Yeah.
But you also got veterans that are also, pushing 30 almost, and they're still learning new things about this game. It's not like you already know everything right off the bat.
Well, everything in that, I guess it depends on mental and the physical. And Kreider's head wasn't in the game for most of the season last year.
Oh, no.
The damn sports psychologist that he went to.
Big time.
One name I'm really surprised hearing in trade rumors is Kevin Kline.
Yes, I don't think his name should be brought up at all. I think he's pretty much kind of solidified his spot on this team, and I think he deserves to stay here.
I think so too. He plays a hell of a game. He's our only defensive defenseman.
Yeah.
Well, it's that game-winning goal every once in a while. He can pick up the goal time.
Mm-hmm.
Few game winners.
Yeah, he had that one where he got part of his ear taken off there and still came back and won it in overtime against Pittsburgh.
It's crazy though. I know Klein's name as along with Stefan in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And they were talking that they would have to at least give up 3 players or 4 players from Minnesota, 2 of them being defensemen.
Yeah.
And I know Zumba and Brodin's names have come up.
See, I'm not I mean, I'm not too familiar with Brodeen, so I can't really chime in on him. I mean, it seems like he would.
But Doom was a decent defenseman.
Yeah, Doom was good. Yeah.
But really, I don't want to see Klein go.
I don't. I think
Klein is solid back there.
And Klein is one of those guys where he does not play for the name on the back. He plays for the name on the front. As long, same with Zuccarello. Zuccarello was another one of those guys that he plays for what is on front of his jersey.
Oh, he always has.
I mean,
and he's the one who took a pay cut.
Yeah, and I mean that's the kind of team I want.
Sign me. I want to.
I want a team that's going to turn around, and when they need to play, they play for what's on the front, and they don't just go, oh, I'm only here to get a paycheck. If you're here to get a paycheck, I don't want you on my team. I want a cup.
We all want a cup right now. That's a big thing. It was funny. I just saw a tweet out there the other day, and the guy said, I'm tired of having faith. I just want a damn cup. I can agree with that, but no matter what, I'm still going to be, garden faithful, even though I'm not at the garden.
Yeah. I'm still trying to get there next year, so that's going to be a hope.
I was just looking at the RFA list here. We got Kreider, JT Miller, Kevin Hayes, and McElrath.
Yeah.
That's the only ones on the main roster right now. As far as UFAs, Victor Stahlberg.
To be 100% honest, I would love to see Victor Stahlberg back.
I would too.
I mean, he
if
played.
They could bring him back for the same price again, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to give him extreme pay raise. He didn't really impress me that much, but the guy plays.
Eric Stahl.
Yeah, I mean,
what do you think? Is he going back to Carolina?
Probably for the right price. I think they'll bring him back, but I think they've kind of already have their mind set on going in a younger direction. I mean, granted, Eric Stahl is still young, but he's not,
31. He's going to be 32 this year.
Still young, but he's not the young they're looking for.
Yeah, they're looking to move along. They just want to bring up people through the system right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'd want the Rangers to bring back Stahl.
He
didn't impress me with his time in New York at all.
I mean, the thing, if we were to bring him back, it would be for face-offs. But, I mean, if we're going to go with someone for just face-offs, I'm sure Brad Richards is going to, be on the market and pretty cheap.
Well, from what I heard, Detroit is not bringing him back, and Chicago has no thoughts of bringing him back again.
I mean, I would like to take him, bring him. If anything, bring him, put him on the fourth line where Dominic Moore was. I mean, we're not bringing Moore back, so we need someone to fill that spot, and I think Richards would be perfect for him.
I'm going to miss Dom, though.
I will. He wore his heart on his sleeve.
Year, but the kid is all heart.
Yeah,
I'm saying kid, he's 35 years old.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to say we got extreme depth for, so that he's missed. But,
well, you never know. Oscar Lindbergh, if he's not traded. I know there's rumors about, from Pat Leonard the other day, that the Rangers are hot on Shattenkirk.
See, I would love to get Shattenkirk, but I have a feeling, that trade will bite us in the ass because we'll wind up giving up way too much, or someone that's going to...
Yeah, I could see somebody like Lindbergh and Fast going there.
Yeah. I mean, if we're going to part ways with either Lindbergh or Fast, I'd be okay with Lindbergh, but we haven't really fully seen what he can give us because most of the season he was sitting up in the press box. Mm-hmm. So
what if it was Lindbergh and Hayes?
See, I think Kevin Hayes had a bad year.
Sophomore jinx.
Your typical sophomore curse. So I would like to give Hayes another shot. One more shot. If he doesn't impress again, then yes, I'd be like, okay, let's part. Even if we were to let him walk and someone does claim him, we get probably something in return, but not probably much.
Yeah.
And then you got guys like Nicholas Jensen, who was a restricted free agent, as well as Kreider and Miller. I think, to be honest,
Miller needs to be signed. Period.
Yes. I mean, Miller had one hell of a season. Kreider, I think we give Kreider another shot. Give him at least a 1-year deal. If he plays under par again, then at the trade deadline, possibly think about moving him, or in the offseason move him. Nicholas Jensen, I think when he comes up, if he does come up this year, I think he'll be great. And he might be a fourth-line guy, maybe move up to the third, or maybe even...
I could see him starting out on the third line and possibly moving up if he keeps rolling like he was at the end of the season.
Yep. And then you got players like Dominic Moore, Danny Paille, Eric Stahl, Victor Stahlberg. They're all unrestricted. We've already heard that Dom and Stahl are gone. I don't see them bringing back Danny Paille. Out of all of those guys...
Paille was a walk in the park in the on the fourth line, headed to Hartford.
Yeah, pretty
when he
much.
first came in.
And then Stahlberg, like I said, Stahlberg would be the one guy I would love to bring back.
He's a good character player.
And then
Plays hard every game.
We go down to the defenseman, and as you said,
but he's another over 30.
Yeah, he is. He's
30 this year. He'll be 31.
Yeah.
Come next year, he'll be 31.
Yeah, they have his name or his age completely botched on here. They have him at 48 years old, which that's not true. And then you go to defenseman. We have Matt Bodie.
Actually, the best for anybody that's looking for a good site. Cap Friendly is one of the best.
See, I'm on OutsideTheGarden.com. That's pretty much what I've been using right now. You got Matt Bodie, who's a restricted free agent, along with Dylan McIlrath. I think both should be re-signed.
Yeah, well, Bodie will be on a Wolfpack.
Yeah. He might be close to, even if we don't make any moves really, he might be our seventh defenseman. Unless somehow miraculously
you just re-signed Chris Summers now.
Yeah. And then you have Rafi Diaz and Dan Boyle, who are the unrestricted, which I think Rafi Diaz is going to say peace out. I think he's going to have a...
He signed a contract with the Swiss League last year, I believe.
Yeah, but he stuck around. So I don't know.
He stuck around, but it's supposed to kick in, I think, this coming season. He's supposed to be heading over there.
Okay, so then Diaz and Boyle are completely gone. They ain't coming back. So.
Diaz... A little bit of a whiner to me.
Yeah.
If you don't bring me up by October, I'm going to go somewhere else.
I know. It's just like, bro, there's more talent.
We're the Jersey in play.
Yeah.
You know.
And now we go down to, in our system, we have a lot of free agents in the system.
Oh, there's a ton.
Oh, there's a
ton
lot.
coming up.
Let's do the unrestricted free agents because, that's a shorter list.
Well, you got Desjardins.
Yes, our goalie, Desjardins, yes. Which, to be 100%...
He's a goalie, but he's older. He's 30.
I was going to say, he's 30 years old. He hasn't really shown anything at all. He hasn't shown improvement or anything. There's Brian Gibbons, who is 28 years old. He's a center. And then you got Nick Tynarski, who's a tough guy.
Nick Tynarski.
Yeah.
31-year-old career AHL player.
Yeah, he's an AHL career guy. I remember him playing.
To see him up on the fourth line, instead of Tanner Glass.
But see, I don't know. Fighting wise, I think I would rather go with Tynarski, yes. But all around, I would probably have to go with Tanner Glass.
Yeah. Well, Glass proved himself last year. He played better,
especially after he came back up from Hartford.
Wonder how demotion. It's just chill. It's wonderful.
Yeah. You
demote somebody in Hartford, and they go, "Uh-oh, I better play a little better when I come back."
Yep. And now there's a couple of other names on here that I think.
Matt Lindvald.
Yeah. Mackenzie Skatsky is a restricted free agent. I think he'll be re-signed no matter what.
Oh, another one UFA you missed was Jason Megna.
Oh yeah, I did.
He showed some flashes last year.
Matter of fact, he's not on my my thing here. They have him. Oh, they have him as a restricted free agent.
No, he's a UFA.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm listed here as UFA.
at that. He's from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Yeah, that's funny.
I didn't know they played hockey down here.
Hey, neither does anybody that goes to the Panther game.
Yeah, I go there just because my team shows up. Who are they playing tonight?
I can't believe it's until March 7th. Oh my God.
I know. I'm going to try to go to the game.
Wait that long. We got to try to get put together a road trip. I know it's a weekday and it's going to be hard for everybody, but...
Yeah, weekdays are usually hard. Especially me. I'm like 2 hours away, 2.5 hours away.
Both 2 hours away, and you'd have to give me a ride anyway.
Yeah, I would. Me and my buddies are trying to go out to Vegas one year, though, to watch the Rangers when they're out there.
Well, I got family out there, so we might be able to hook that up.
Yep. Matter of
fact,
fact,
we don't have a place to stay, or at least tell us where to stay.
Yeah. Matter of fact, let's actually talk about that. Las Vegas is getting a hockey team.
Weird, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know how. Weird. Fan-wise, I don't think that's going to be good. Unless you're a hockey fan just out in Vegas and you go, hey, let's go to a hockey game.
Well, there are New York transplants out there just like down here in Florida.
Yeah, I mean, the Ranger fans are everywhere. I mean, listen to Colorado. It's loud in Colorado.
It's crazy.
So, all our Colorado people that are listening, keep it up.
Yeah, how many times are you going to hear Zook yelled out?
Zook! That or Potvin Sucks. I think the Potvin Sucks is louder there than it is at the Garden. That or the Garden is starting to turn the volume down a little bit with the fans.
Garden is too many suits right now.
Too many suits. I think the fans should start pushing them back out.
Not to use a pun, but you got to get the real fans back in there.
Get the blue seats out back in there.
That's what's missing.
Yep.
Come on, even my little cousin, they got him doing the Potvin Sucks chant.
Oh, I'm going to have my kid, whenever I decide to have a kid, doing Potvin Sucks at the age of 1. He's not going to know his ABCs, but he's going to know Potvin Sucks. He's going to come out
with a full beard. Who are you kidding?
All right.
He's going to come out looking like a little baby Ian with the beard already.
Yeah, right. He's going to have a bigger beard than me. My beard's getting pretty long. I shaved it. I don't want to shave it.
Follow the Ian.
All right, we got the...
Rivik is actually an RFA this season.
Yep, Rivik is...
I actually liked him last year.
Yeah, he played pretty well every time he came up. I just wish they kind of would have given him a little more play. A little bit
more ice time, yeah.
Same thing with Brady Shea. I wish they would have given him a little more ice time as well. McElrath especially, like when we played against the Flyers.
McElrath needed some.
I think McElrath just needs to be an automatic in the lineup no matter what.
And I got to say this because it's driving me nuts. The one rumor was Rick Nash to Anaheim for who?
Oh, Cam Fowler, yeah.
And who have the Ranger fans been complaining about that the Rangers should have drafted instead of Dylan McElrath?
Yep, exactly.
But nobody wants Cam Fowler now.
Yeah, well, apparently there's quite a bit of issues. So, I guess we'll fucking see what's going to happen there.
It's remarkable to me, though.
Yeah.
It's like how fast people... It's like they changed on a dime on that one.
Yep. I mean...
And I've been a he was drafted.
I was excited when we got McElrath. I mean, I was like, we got a big defenseman. He's mean. I'm like, that's exactly what we need.
He's got a hell of a slap shot, too.
Oh, man, does he.
But, that's enough. Speaking of slap shots, you got the kid Ryan Graves.
I know. The hardest in AHL.
What was it, 104 miles an hour?
103, 104, yeah. That's up there with the big boys. It's up there with like Chara and Shea Weber. Even what the hell's that big dude, the big black guy, Bufflin. It's up there with Bufflin too.
Oh yeah, Bufflin, forget it. I'd like to have him on the Rangers, but
I would like to, but he's just way too much money. Oh, whoa.
Oh, puppy in the background barking away.
Hi, puppy. What you want?
Folks said, yeah, I like McElrath.
I mean, we got the draft coming up tomorrow night. There obviously has been some talk of moves being made left and right. Do you think the Rangers will possibly try to make a big splash and get a first-round pick somehow, some way for Nash?
I don't think there's a first-round pick involved, maybe a second-rounder. I know the Rangers, if they trade Nash, they're going to have to hold on to a lot of his salary.
Yeah, and
at least 50%.
50% is still, we're still eating up some money there.
Yeah, you're eating up half of what, 7.8, is it?
Yeah, 7. Is it 7.8? Yeah. So I mean, that's a lot of money.
I mean, we grew up in, well, I did, grew up in the days where players weren't making this type of money, and nowadays it's crazy.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, you can see a hockey player making over $1 million a year.
Yep, and I mean, you think about back when Mario Lemieux was playing, he was, I mean, arguably one of the best players in the league.
He's that time second behind Gretzky.
Yeah, and then he was making what, $6 million or whatever, and that was high back then.
That was towards the end of his career.
Yeah, and that was high back then. Now you got players that are making $6 million like it's nothing. You got players that are making $8 million, like, oh yeah, I only make $8 million. I need to make a little more than that. It's like,
it's kind of funny. You look at it this way. You look at like Derek Stepan right now.
Yep.
Stepan is making 6.5.
Yeah.
Then we go back to Oscar Lindbergh, who's only made 600,000.
Yep.
It's kind of funny to drop when you first come into the league.
Yeah.
It's such a big difference unless you're a superstar like when Crosby came into the league.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Stepan is a phenomenal player. He's there when you need him. He's great at faceoffs. Not the best on the team, but he's.
No, he wasn't the best on the team. I mean, Brassard was probably the best last year.
Yeah, Brassard, and then obviously Eric Stahl, which we brought him in for faceoff reasons. You got
his percentage has gone down though.
It has, but I think people are starting to figure out his way, his game. But the kid's still putting up 20 something goals a year, which is good. We need players like that. Unlike Rick Nash, who put up what, 17 this year. Granted, he was hurt.
He had a really bad year.
Yeah, I mean, granted, he was hurt quite a bit of time, but at the same time, we're paying you $7.8 million to score goals, and you're only giving us 17. But yet we have a little hobbit. We have a little hobbit that's making about almost $4 million, and has more goals than you. What is that saying?
The highest scoring production on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Little Zuccarello.
Yeah, Zuccarello, Brassard, and Stepan were the top three. Oh, and Miller were the top four.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
You look at Zuccarello last year. He kicked butt.
Oh, did he? I mean, he was amazing last year.
And it was totally amazing because you weren't expecting it.
Yeah, you weren't.
I mean, come on, 26 goals and 35 assists in 81 games.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. How he didn't win the Masterton?
After getting his head caved in by Ryan McDonough's slap shot.
Yeah, and them talking about him possibly not returning was...
Yeah. His career was in jeopardy.
It was... Oh, man, was it. So, we'll talk a little bit more about the draft. Nick Kypreos this morning on NHL.com, or the NHL Network. I was watching one of his little podcasts that he was doing, or the radio shows, and Kypreos thinks that there's going to be a lot of moves at this year's draft because of the expansion next year.
It's a possibility. I mean, the way it's set up for next year's expansion draft is absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, the Rangers can they're not going to be able. They have to protect all their no move and no trade clauses.
Yep. And it's hard to protect a lot of people that you want to protect. I mean, you got phenomenal players left and right, and sometimes you just have to let them go.
It's just I'm amazed at it. Okay, we got him in, but I really don't see the need for it.
No.
Not one yet. I mean, not when you're playing teams out of your division in the same conference
Mm-hmm.
3 times a year.
Yeah.
It's already cut down. But,
Yes.
but there's a bye week now.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Like,
What, playing football here?
yeah, like I mean, it's bad enough that the Rangers already take like 3 weeks off, and then finally they get a game again. To what it seems like to us, now you're literally gonna take the team away for 1 week. It's like I'm gonna literally go insane because I'm not gonna have hockey for a week.
Everybody in our group is going to go insane.
Everybody's
gonna
gonna be
have
at each
Jess.
other's throat for
You're
a
gonna
week.
have Jess on the Julio like 24/7 that whole week.
Yeah. That or he's
And
gonna be telling everybody to
just
jump up
looking
his
at, I was
ass.
just looking at next year's expansion draft.
Down. Lay down.
They can have a protection of 7 forwards, 3 defensemen, and 1 goaltender.
Yep, or 8 forwards, 1 defenseman, and 1 goaltender.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you have to include those no move clauses in there, so we're stuck with Girardi.
Yep.
We're
But-
stuck with Stahl.
Yeah, I think what's gonna happen is, I think we're gonna leave Nash and or maybe Girardi out there to possibly get snagged, so that we don't really have to finish out their contracts. Even though Nash has got what 2 years, would be a year, 1 year left for next season.
Yeah, he's 2018 is when he's a UFA.
Yeah, so which I won't see us bringing him back after that.
Actually, Nash, I'd still look to try to trade him, but
I
I
would
wouldn't buy him out.
I wouldn't buy him out.
The hit is going to be too much.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see what kind of happens here. Possibly in the next, by this weekend, see if he's still a Ranger by this weekend, going into next week.
I still think it's going to be a totally different team you're going to see.
Mhm. Now let's talk about some guys that we could possibly bring in.
I want Lucic.
I want Matt Martin. I mean, just
Matt Martin's a good one, too.
I love the way he plays.
Okposo's decent.
Akaposo would be a good pickup. I just think Akaposo would be a little pricey.
Yeah. Well, so's Lucic. Martin might be decent.
Martin, I could see Martin probably around 5, which I think is still a little too much. But Lucic has pretty much lost his mind on money. He wants to be, I guess, the richest guy in hockey, which no way in hell he's gonna be.
Everybody wants to be the richest guy in hockey.
No, trust me, I want to be too, but I don't even play hockey.
I'm
watch
too old
it.
right now. I wouldn't get drafted that high. It might be like a 500th rounder.
Right? You'll be a walk-on. Shit, I'll probably be a walk-on with all the injuries I got.
Yeah, we'd both be on the IR too many times.
We walk in, sign our contract, and go immediately to the IR. We'd be the next DiPietros.
Oh, God. Yeah, let me sign a 17-year contract. Wow, how bad... I mean, out of all the signings the Rangers have done, you know, 15-year contract.
Yeah, I mean, to be 100% honest, I don't know why you would give anybody a 15-year contract. Especially, yes, they're coming into the draft. They're the top dog of the draft. I still would not put forth 15 years to one player. Because say like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years down the road.
Sign the kid at 12, yeah, okay, then. No.
4 or 5 years down the road, say like he gets a really, really, really bad injury and it turns his whole career around. He goes from being Wayne Gretzky to becoming, I don't know, Hugh Jessamine. I mean, you got this guy locked up for 15 years.
It's kind of funny how we use that as our scale. Wayne Gretzky to Hugh Jessamine.
Whoa, hey. Doing a podcast over here. Doing a podcast.
Like you, Jasmine, either.
Princess. Hey. Psst. Hey, come here. Come here.
I teach your dog to do Let's Go Rangers.
I know.
It'd be perfect.
Princess, come here. Hey.
Well, I've also brought in a couple of players in the offseason, too.
Yeah.
Stromwell.
Yeah, we just brought him in. I hope
And Mr. Pavlo Bucinovic.
I hope he does great.
If he hits the team next year and fails, it's going to be like the worst season ever.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one guy we're counting on to come in
and change things.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not holding high expectations for this first season because one, he still has to adapt to our rink. You know, our rink is not there.
There's another problem too because he doesn't want to play in the AHL.
Yeah, and he wants to come straight to the NHL, but yet he still needs to develop on our ice because he's used to these big ices. He's going to come to an ice where he's expected
shorter
to do
plays. He's not going to have those long passes like he used to have in the KHL.
Unless you got a phenomenal pass, then yeah, but no, there's no way. I mean, Del Zotto, I think, was the only guy that I know that had a phenomenal pass on small rinks.
Mike Custer.
Who?
Del Zat. You said
Del
right?
Okay, yeah.
Del Zaster.
Yeah.
He's a free agent this year, isn't he?
I want to say no. I think he signed a multi-year contract with the Flyers. So I think he's still with them for at least a couple of years. Maybe a year, but I want to say a couple of years. So.
And he was expecting that traffic cone of a jersey they're wearing.
I don't know. I can't stand that guy. I liked him when he was a Ranger. Here and there.
Contract.
Yeah, I liked him as a Ranger here and there, but for the most part, I'm glad he's off my team.
I wouldn't even pick him up for a fantasy team.
Oh, no. I think I did once this year, but that's just because I needed to fill a gap for like a few days.
Somebody was on the DL, yeah?
Yeah, pretty much.
Somebody was on.
And matter of fact, I think I picked him up, and I think he went on to the injured reserve. So it was.
He was on there last year.
It was pretty much a lose-lose situation at that point. Kind of like my fantasy baseball team this year. Everybody's on the IR.
So, are we going to see a different team this year? Is it going to be?
I wouldn't say
faces.
I wouldn't say it's going to be a fully different team. But I want to say, yes, we will see a different team this year.
Obviously, you're going to see Brassard. You're going to see Zuccarello. You're going to see Lundqvist.
Yeah.
McDonough. Unfortunately, Stahl and Girardi.
Yeah. Well,
who actually I have nothing against, but
Girardi, I have
beat up.
I'm going to stick behind Girardi. I'm going to stand up for him. Girardi, you can't play top-notch hockey and phenomenal and great defensive hockey when, one, you lead the league in blocked shots, so your body is getting beat to shit.
He's beat up.
Yeah. Mark Stahl, on the other hand, ever since he got his first concussion, he has been garbage.
You had the concussion, you had the eye injury, then you had the concussion again.
Yeah.
And he's gone down. His production defense have gone down.
If it came down to Girardi or Stahl, who would I keep and who would I get rid of? Stahl is gone all day. Girardi, I would keep.
Maybe we'll get lucky and his brother will go back to Carolina and he'll want to follow.
Well, then all four Stahls are there.
They can have them all.
Yeah, as long as we don't have their paychecks.
No. And he's signed through 2021.
All right, he just resigned.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah, it's time to part ways with that douche.
And all the years of no move clause. Oh.
I know, all these no move clauses. Stop giving out no move clauses. I think our GM should literally turn around and be like, I will not sign you if you want a no move clause. or no trade clause. Yeah.
Well, God bless Florida. They got stuck with one.
Yeah. Yep, they're stuck with Yandle. Don't get me wrong, Yandle's a great player. Does have his mess ups, but so does everybody. Gretzky had his mess ups. Crosby has his mess ups. He just happened to be born a female. That was pretty much his mess up.
Cindy Crosby.
Yep, the youngest one in curls.
I just can't stand the guy.
No, I cannot either. I mean, if the Rangers were to ever trade for Crosby and actually get him or sign him, which would never ever happen because I think he's signed for life with them, then it would probably take me at least maybe a half or a full season to finally like this guy. He would probably score and I would get excited, find out who it is, and be like, oh man.
It's crazy.
Sit down and pout, be like, Crosby just scored a hat trick. Yeah, and he's a dick.
Oh, God, that's funny. Yeah, pretty much. I think every Ranger fan feels that way. Wouldn't want him on our team in the first place.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if it came down to anything.
He's not old school hockey. He's whiner hockey.
Yeah.
And speaking of old school, we lost one of the greats. Mr. Hockey.
Yep, Mr. Gordie Howe there.
Rest in peace.
I mean, I can't really sit there and say that I didn't see it coming.
He's been fighting his ass off all year.
Yeah, I mean, the dude had a stroke. And strokes ain't nothing. I mean, my grandmother had a stroke, and 2 weeks later, she passed away. Well, it was more like maybe 2 months later.
Wow.
But, I mean, some people can go through it, some people can't. Some people actually survive it and live to see another 8-9 years, or some people literally have the stroke and die right then and there. I mean, it's
and
no.
Gordie just fought.
It's no joke.
He threw the elbow, threw a punch, scored the goal, and kept going.
Exactly, Mr. Gordie Howe, called the Gordie Howe hat trick, and Gordie Howe never had a Gordie Howe hat trick.
Now the Gretzky's trying to get him to retire number 9 throughout the league,
which I think they should. But at the same time, we can't just keep retiring numbers left and right. But, someone like him, you think number 99, that's always going to be retired, no matter what team.
You know how many kids would be wearing that coming into the league right now?
Oh, exactly. 66 should be another one. Even though I'm not a fan of Lemieux at all, and I'm not a fan of the Penguins at all, which I do not congratulate Hagelin or Cole and them, because I never liked Hagelin when he was a Ranger, so I'm not going to congratulate him on winning a cup.
I'm not going to go into the Hagelin thing because I know it'll offend too many people. I'm just better off keeping my mouth shut.
Yeah, I don't like him. I never liked him.
The only thing I'll say is he's wearing a yellow and black jersey. It's called the Enemy.
Yeah, he's the Enemy. He's not a
period.
He's not a fan favorite anymore. Sorry, he's the Enemy. I don't wish him luck at all. Now, if he was playing for the Sharks, then yeah, I would have been like, oh, way to go. But at the same time, you're another one of Sather's bad contracts.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you do not make over $5 million at the player that you are. He got a bad contract. He just happened to have the right GM at the right time, that where he was just like, oh, well, I want this kind of money, and our GM was like, here you go.
The funny thing is, though, Slats gets trashed everywhere.
Yeah.
Neil Smith pretty much did the same thing after '94.
Well, I mean, he did get rid of the whole entire farm team.
And nobody talks Smith because he automatically gets a pass because of
the cup. Yep.
I mean, how many years did we miss the playoffs? It's 2 years straight, wasn't it? 97, 98?
Yeah.
And Sather's the one who brought us back in.
Yeah. I mean, Sather brought us to a cup contended team year after year.
That's saying I'm not a Sather fan.
Oh, no.
But still, he shouldn't get trashed the way he does.
No. I mean, he deserves a little credit. He has his mess-ups, but he has his brilliant moves, too. I mean, come on. Ryan McDonough, for instance.
I mean, McDonough for
for Gomez. I mean, we won that trade, hands down.
Yeah, we pretty much raped Montreal.
They're probably.
I mean, that was almost as bad as you were.
The what?
The Youpie.
Oh yeah. So you were cutting out a little bit, so.
That he had?
Yeah.
Wearing a Ranger jersey, walking through Montreal. That had to be the worst thing for them ever.
I felt bad for the guy that was in the suit because he probably had things thrown at him and shit said to him all day.
Well, at least he had protection. He had the suit on.
Yeah, but I mean, me being a mascot at one point, there's really not much padding in there.
At least he hit him in the head, and that he did have a little.
Yeah, well, the head has a helmet in it, so that's a plus.
I know tomorrow we're gonna have up the thread all day. I'm gonna post it early in the morning for the draft day because you're gonna have a lot more going on than just draft.
Yeah, I mean
tomorrow's gonna be crazy.
I mean, you're gonna be up on top of everything on that because unfortunately, I gotta work.
You'll be. Shane, I have no idea where he's going to be. He usually does it with me.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of jacked on that one.
Yeah, you're kind of stuck by yourself. I mean, I got a lot of running around to do tomorrow night.
All day, George.
It's like free agency coming up July 1st. You're on your own again.
And it falls on a Friday, and I have a feeling Shane's working that day.
Yeah, I work till 4.
Shane's out on that. So I'll be covering the page,
the
group,
you'll pretty much be you'll pretty much be doing everything. Well, probably like around 4 o'clock or so. I'll probably try to get online, try to help you out a bit if the best I can.
Have him right on the thread and put it right in there. Just put it on the pin post. That was the best way of doing it. I mean, we came up with that, and it was the easiest way to do it.
Yep. Now we had Ulf leave us to go and join the Hurricanes organization and coach the minors there.
Well, did the defense look last year?
Yeah.
See Ulfie?
Yeah. I mean,
thanks to you.
He didn't. I mean, he didn't look too happy with a lot of things that were going on. I guess there's some other things going on behind closed doors that we didn't know about.
There always is.
But who do you think would be a good fit, or who do you think will be the guy to take his place?
In one word, Book.
See, I'd like to see Book-a-Boom. I mean, I think the defense would be a little tougher.
He's doing a hell of a job with Hartford's defense.
Oh,
Look
yeah.
what he did with McElrath.
Yeah, I mean, McElrath is pretty much Book-a-Boom reincarnated in a way. He's got the toughness.
Pair with Brady Shea, and then we'll have the old Leach and Book-a-Boom back.
Yeah. I
still say Shea is the closest thing to Leach that we've had in a while as a prospect.
Yeah, I mean, that's another name that I would like to see behind our bench as the possible defensive coach would be, Leach. But
I think just a power play coach.
Yeah, I mean,
we haven't had a good power play since he was cracking it.
I'd say Scott Arniel just needs to go in general. I don't like him.
Scott Arniel.
I
mean, just ask Derek Brassard about that.
Oh yeah, he was not happy when we were signing him.
No, he trashed the hell out of him in Columbus.
Yep. And then they turn around and they bring him here. I bet you he was sitting there going, okay, where do I have to go to get away from this guy?
That's what gets me about Sullivan.
That's another thing.
He ran our power play to hell with
Yep.
And he wins the Stanley Cup.
Yep. Well, he's not
this year.
He's pretty much
it wasn't
just
even a full year.
Yeah, he's pretty much just the head guy in charge there, and he had other people running his defense and the power play and everything like that. But still, at the same time, it's like, how the hell can you be so bad with us and yet you win a cup?
It happens, unfortunately.
They got lucky. I think the Penguins got extremely lucky.
They came on at the right time of the year.
Yep.
They picked up the right players.
Their goaltenders were just, unbelievable. Murray played amazing.
And that makes Mr. Fleury a little available now. They're saying he might be going to Calgary.
Yeah, Calgary has asked about him, so I guess we'll see what happens. I mean, you put a good goaltender in Calgary, you might see things change in Calgary. I mean, they were just in the playoffs not too long ago, so I mean, they still have the pieces. I just think they need goaltending and maybe one or two more scorers.
Yeah. Edmonton's got to pick up. Vancouver's got to pick.
Edmonton, I don't think they're ever going to pick up.
I was reading the other day. It was a nice little quote about when the schedule came out. So you see, the NHL 2016-2017 schedule has come out, along with the playoffs, and Vancouver and Edmonton are already eliminated.
All Canadian teams are already eliminated.
I'm like, oh my God, this is so funny.
But I mean,
I'm like, I can't believe they just said that.
I just don't know how you can have all these top 5 guys on your team and you don't do anything. The fact that they're even thinking about moving Taylor Hall or Ryan Nugent-Hopkins.
I'd take both.
Yeah, Nail Yakupov. I mean, these guys were your first.
Yakupov, I don't know about. I don't know if I'd take him or not.
Yeah, but these are your first overall picks. 3 of them, and you're talking about trading all of them, or at least 1 or 2 out of the 3.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
What do you think, Stefan, for RNH? Would you do it?
See, it's a tough one. Ryan Nugent, but I don't know. I would probably say no. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is injury prone, so I would probably have to turn that one down.
Yeah. But it does clear up the cap space.
It would.
It'll give us the money to actually sign a first-line center.
Yep. I mean, I think it's. I don't want to see this. I love my team. I love the players, but this is the part of the business. It's a business. It's unfortunately got to happen sometimes. I think that it's time to explode the team. Bring in new faces, try to get a new chemistry, see what we can get, see what we could do, and who knows? It may bring us to a dynasty, or we may turn into Edmonton. I mean, it
has to get younger. It has to get bigger.
We have
it has to get a little bit faster again.
Yeah, that the one thing I think we need to focus on is physicality. We are not physical enough.
No, not at all.
The whistle blows and we skate away. They crash our goaltender. We give them a high five.
Will be in the game.
Yeah, they'll crash Lundqvist. We give them a pat on the back. Like, yeah, that was good. Way to go. I'm gonna get you next shift.
Lundqvist's defense in Boston.
Yeah, I mean
he came to McDonough's defense against Mr. Simmons.
Dick.
Yeah, well, that's being nice.
I tell you what, though.
We are on a podcast. We can't see it.
I tell you what, though, I would take Simmons in a heartbeat.
Yeah, he's a team player, plus he's tough.
Oh, I would take that guy in a heartbeat. He is everything I want in a player. He hits, he skates, he scores, he fights, and he trash talks.
Yep.
Everything I want in a player.
He'd be perfect for New York, but he's in Philly, and he's the enemy, so.
Yeah, he's the enemy.
Anything that happens to him this year, and he deserves.
Trust me, I have a foam brick every time he's on my screen. I throw it at the TV.
And Rangers in the past. We got to pick up our usual sweep of them in the series again now.
I loved it when we were destroying them 7-0 and sweeping them in the season, and then going into Philly in the outdoor game and beating them there.
Kicking their butt in the Winter Classic.
That was so fun. Good old days, good old days.
Well, they're not putting the Rangers back in the Winter Classic or the Coors Light game at all.
Which I don't understand. Stop putting the same teams.
Because we win them all.
Yeah. Stop putting the same teams. I'm tired of seeing Detroit. I'm tired of seeing Chicago. Tired of seeing LA. Put other teams in the game. You got. Yeah. I mean, Minnesota was in it last year. But, you got teams like Minnesota that have only been in one. You got a couple of other teams, say like Nashville. Nashville's never been in one. Florida's never been in one. Granted, you don't put it in Florida, but you give other teams a shot. I mean, could you imagine playing a hockey game down here in...
Well, you know what they always could do? You remember when Buffalo had the synthetic ice when they went for that deal?
Yeah.
They could do the same thing down here for an outdoor game.
They could.
But wearing all that equipment in 80-degree weather?
Yeah, they might have a heat stroke.
Oh, my God.
I mean, granted, it is wintertime, but I don't call it winter down here. No, we have summer and we have summer light. Summer light, you have a high of about 78 still.
Well, here's a take on these outdoor games. Stadium, they should switch them up a lot.
Yeah.
But Winter Classic, straight off, it should be an original 6 team in it against an original 6 team.
I think that would sell. I mean, anytime an original 16 plays each other, people watch because, one, they're...
I mean, maybe not when Toronto's in it, but...
Toronto, the only time that the Toronto fans would probably watch it is if they were playing against the trash can, and I think the trash can would still beat them.
I wouldn't give up on Toronto, though.
No, I think
MRL is going to do something there.
I think they win the Stamkos battle.
You had that feeling too.
Mm-hmm.
I have that feeling that he's going to be in there.
They're the only team that I believe is close enough money-wise to even signing him. Any other team, I think, would probably either have to start thinking about parting ways with players, or in the long run, possibly have to think.
But I'm one of the Ranger fans that don't want him.
I don't want him. I don't want him. The blood clots scare me. He wants way too much money for blood clots.
Blood clots scare me. $10 million a year scares me.
Yeah.
$11 million a year.
Yeah, and I'm not going to give a player that much money for him to turn around and be the next Pascal Dupuis and have to opt out of his contract or not show up and retire because of the fact that he has blood clots that he can't control. Which you get one blood clot to your heart, you're done.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's something serious.
That's smart, but well, you had to. I mean, Dupuis was a cup of tea in New York.
Yeah, I mean,
three whole games, I think it was. 6 at the most.
7. I think it was 7.
Yeah, but he was gone as fast as he got here.
I mean, I wish we wouldn't have given up on him, but I mean, what can you do? I mean, I applaud him for having a great career. He had a great career in Pittsburgh. I will admit that. He's probably one of the only Penguins that I really actually have respect for. But
that's not saying much, though.
But I mean, blood clots are a serious thing. They're nothing to joke around about. I'm glad that they got him onto the ice, to hold the cup and enjoy the cup ceremony. But at the same time, it was kind of like a I don't know, I guess a bittersweet moment.
Yeah, suck for him. Come on. And you're gonna retire.
Yeah,
they're gonna win the cup. Kind of crappy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
That's crazy. I mean, I'm waiting for tomorrow in anticipation, and I'm just like, I know I'm gonna be pinned to this damn computer all day tomorrow.
Yeah, you'll probably be.
I'm gonna be refreshing Facebook, refreshing everything.
You'll be pinned to your computer all day. I'll be pinned to my phone until about 4 o'clock. When I get home, then I'm gonna do what I got to do here. Then I have to actually dip back out of the house because one of my friend's birthdays. And we're supposed to be going bowling, so I'm probably going to be pinned to my phone all night, too, seeing who's being traded, who's getting where, who got drafted. I mean, it's tomorrow's going to be chaotic and fun at the same time. I mean, I remember going to the draft last year down here in Florida.
I'm just nervous about what the Rangers are going to pull.
I hope it's something good, but I hope it's something that won't make me say what the fuck at the same time.
Well, I'm going got rid of him. Oh no.
I mean,
And I'm gonna have to defend that all day in group.
yeah, no. I mean, I had my fun last year, the one down here in Florida. It was fun being in the crowd, experiencing it. I mean, I highly recommend it for anybody that wants to go to the draft. It's a fun experience.
You see, now this is where it gets me. NHL Draft is big time.
Yeah.
It's right in there. It's in an arena. The fans are allowed to interact.
Uh huh.
Football's the same way.
Yeah.
NBA's the same way.
Yeah, but
Baseball.
Yeah, baseball.
It's during the season.
Yep, and it's
in a studio.
it's not even televised at all.
Well, it was televised, but only for the first and second rounds.
Yeah.
But it's like, where's the, the grandeur? Where's the excitement?
Yeah.
And it's just they're, the players were coming up and going, the Mets select.
Yep.
And you don't have the fans booing anything.
Yeah, I mean, last year I was walking out from day 2. I was leaving day 2, and just walking out, I probably stopped at like 4 or 5 players. I shook their hand because they were drafted. One of them.
Too bad you didn't have any Ranger first rounders then.
Yeah, we didn't have any. There was no Ranger ones out there, unfortunately. There was 2 Bruins and a Edmonton, a Nashville, and I believe a Florida guy. They're all out in the hallway talking, and shake hands with them. You walk past. It's pretty cool. Got to get my picture with the Stanley Cup. They have a bunch of things to do all around the arena. What's up?
You didn't touch it, right?
No.
You better not have.
Hell no. Nope. I even told my girlfriend too. I'm like, do not touch this cup. If we won it, I would have been like, okay, but
we're breaking up really fast if you do.
You are walking home. That is a 2-hour ride. You are walking home.
Damn, walking up 95 would be kind of rough ride.
Well, one, it's illegal, so she would have to try to find US 1.
That'd be pretty hilarious.
Yeah, it would. But unfortunately,
not for you when she got home, though. That's damn for sure.
Yeah, I probably have a knife in my back.
Oh, by the way, I wanted to bring this up. It is, and I know it's one of your favorites, the Boogeyman's birthday today.
Yes. I love the Boogeyman. I really wish that man was still alive. I really do. I love that guy so much, I even went out and got his jersey.
I know that's your good luck jersey.
Oh, it is my good luck jersey. Every time I jersey to a Panthers game, the Rangers always win. Even if I wear it.
There hasn't been anybody like him in the league since.
No, there's not really anybody that's intimidating.
On skates, 7 foot tall on his skates, man. Ooh.
Sheesh. I mean, the only guy that
fight. Just last year when he was with the Rangers, he could still fight.
Yeah. Scored.
Still afraid of him.
I'd say he scored a goal. His first goal, I think, a year, 2 years or something like that. Well, games.
Yeah. Yeah. Shows you what happens, though. I mean, a hockey player of his caliber going in there and fighting all the time.
Yeah.
And the concussions he suffered. It's a shame he hooked on the pain pills.
Yeah.
Which led to his demise.
I mean, unfortunately, there's nothing you can really do about that. It just, you got players that, get addicted to things. I mean, look at Jordan Tutu. He went to rehab and everything to try to, get himself clean. I mean, granted, he wasn't, on pills or anything like that. It was an alcohol problem. Yeah. But still, the fact that you got to go to rehab, it's a problem.
Oh, it's a rough one, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's scary to see something like that happen.
Exactly. But I mean, you don't, and concussions is another thing. I know it's a touchy subject for some people. Some people think that, fighting needs to be out of the league to, to prevent concussions and stuff like that. But yet you got players like Chris Neal who will take advantage of that no fighting thing and will lay somebody out and give him a concussion. And the only thing you could do to him legally in the league is yell at him.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I mean, taking the fighting out of the game is going to lead to more stick work.
yes.
Stick work is worse than fighting.
Yep, I think so. What did you want me to pet you? I'll pet you. Hi.
Poor Ian's getting distracted by his dogs here.
No, they're not even my dogs.
That's what happens when you got pets. That's why I keep mine out of the room when I'm on here.
Yeah. They're not even my pets. I'm babysitting. Well, yeah, I guess babysitting, so. Babysitting for a friend.
Well, hey, good guy.
Hey, it's money.
Looking at fighters, did you? I know a lot of our members saw it, and a few on the page saw it. But did you see the video of Ty Domi in the parking lot with the little kid?
I did not. I heard about it, but I did not see it.
The little kid came up, popped him on the arm. Domi turned around. The kid drops his gloves and takes a stance. And Domi's just, it was priceless. He was just finally walked over, grabbed the kid in a headlock, brought him over to the car, tried to pull his shirt over top of his head. But it shows you that even the kids nowadays and that, growing up like that. The funny thing was the Habs fan.
Oh, really?
That did that.
That's funny. Him being a Toronto Maple Leaf and a Ranger. Figured that.
It was a Habs fan that did it. I mean, it's totally hilarious.
Yeah. But I mean,
I got such a kick out of that today.
But what
shows you how fun hockey players can be. Though.
Oh yeah, and it shows you that
To me, the most approachable players out of any sport.
Exactly, and it just shows you that you can be a tough guy on the ice, but they still, they're pretty much big teddy bears. I mean, Bugard was arguably one of the biggest teddy bears in the league, but was feared by players on the ice.
He was feared by everybody. Once he hit that ice, he was feared by everybody.
Oh, I would run.
Teammates.
I'd be like, Coach, I think I just came down with the flu. Are you good? Next shift, he's going to be like, you all right? Oh, yeah, I'm good now. I can go back out. Who's out there? Crosby. Oh, yeah, I'm
groin.
good.
I got to sit this one out. I pulled the groin. Just crazy, though. And it's just such, though. I mean, you look at guys like Adam Graves, how much they do out of the game.
Yeah.
And it shows you, I mean, a lot of us, it helps a lot of us because we all put our love into this team.
Exactly.
We put our heart into this team. And to see them interact with kids and families and just the everyday fan like that. I mean, how many pictures do you see up all the time of people posting, standing next to Kevin Klein or, Henrik, anybody?
I mean, there's a couple of people on our Facebook, that Henrik Lundqvist to be out at dinner, and they get pictures with him. So.
Yeah, Hank's like, I'm just trying to eat a sandwich. Jesus, leave me alone. Okay, I'll take my picture. Go ahead.
Yeah, right. Just let me finish my food.
Yeah.
After
I'm trying to feed my daughter here. Leave me alone.
But I mean, me being a guy who played in a band, every once in a while I would show up at the same venue we've played at a few times before. People would recognize us. They would come over and they would start chatting with us. I love that.
Oh,
but at
cool,
the same time, like when you're
I'm recognized.
Yeah, like there's times where like you're trying to do something, like say eat food or set your stuff up or whatnot. There are times where it's like, okay, you still typically kind of chat with them, but you want to make it as quick as possible so that you can kind of get away from them, so that you can do what you got to do. But I mean, it's always fun to have people recognize you and enjoy your company, or just enjoy being around you. So, I mean, it was fun.
So. It has to be. And it's like, oh my God, I'm actually recognized. This is so cool. Hey, didn't you play? You open up for Green Jelly?
Yep. Man,
I'm like stoked about tomorrow, though. I'm just waiting and waiting.
yeah, I mean, not just Ranger wise, but I always look forward to the draft because that's when pretty much when the draft comes, you know that moves are going to start happening now. So
It will happen.
Yep.
I mean, you're going to see, hopefully, good deals for the Rangers coming up.
Oh, I hope so.
And I think Gordon is not going to let the Rangers take over like they have been in the past.
No.
But we'd also like to see a first-round pick. We haven't seen a first-round pick in how many years now?
4, I want to say.
Yeah.
Because
we actually have one next year.
Yeah, it'll be gone.
Oh my God, we have one. We don't have a second rounder, but we have a first rounder next year.
It'll be gone.
It'll be gone. Yeah. Well, Gordon has come out and said he's not going to trade away the picks.
Well, that's a good thing because our farm system,
I hope he sticks to it.
Oh God, because I mean, if you think about it, if our farm system leaves, we ain't got nothing to fill that spot up with because we got rid of all our draft picks for those guys who would be taking these spots.
Yep. Well, if you think about it too, though, we got our first pick is in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
Moore has been picked in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
Anthony Duclair was picked in the 3rd round.
Yep.
Pavel Buchnevich.
Yep. I mean,
we don't go back to all the way back to Mike McEwen.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know the caliber of Buchnevich yet, but I mean, you think about it. Dominic Moore was.
There were a few Ranger 3rd round picks that had decent careers. I mean, Peter Sundstrom.
Yeah, I think Callahan.
Callahan was a 4th round pick.
Okay,
actually.
Dubinsky was, I think, a 3rd, maybe a 4th.
He was a 4th or a 5th, I believe. I think he was a 4th.
But I mean, you still think about it. You got players like that who are doing extremely well in the league, and they're not even drafted in the top 100.
Yeah.
And then you got players like,
Come on, Henrik Lundqvist was a 7th round pick.
Exactly. And I hate to bring this name up.
Today, if you went back into history in 2000, and I think it was 2010, our first round pick was Dan Blackburn.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
Oh boy.
Hey.
7th round pick Henrik Lundqvist and a 1st round pick Dan Blackburn.
Yeah, or you think about it, Henrik Lundqvist, 7th round pick, Rick DiPietro, 1st overall pick.
That's a good way to put it too. And we've had some good ones in the 3rd round. Steve Baker was a good goalie. He was a 3rd round pick.
Yeah.
But you're not going to always find the best fit for a player in the 1st round.
No, I mean, granted,
it also all comes down to how he's going to fit on the team itself by the time he's there.
Yep, and I mean, if you think about it, you do have guys like Connor McDavid and Jack Eichel who do come from the 1st round and do pretty well. Tyler Seguin being another one. But then you got guys like Nail Yakupov, who arguably is probably the worst 1st overall pick for them.
They're just get a 3rd round pick for him right now.
Exactly.
At least that's what the rumor is, but...
I mean, if you have to ask for a 3rd round pick for a number 1 overall kid, there's a problem.
It's normal. I mean, how many times do you see that come up?
Yep.
I just say let's not trade anything or sign anybody for the Devils. So
yeah,
we've had some bad luck with that. Bruce Trevor, Scott Gomez,
Holy
Shanny.
I don't know. I wish we would have gotten. I wish we would have gotten something better for Yandle. My first initial thought was, okay, we got a 6th round pick, and then we get Yandle back. But now that he's signed with Florida, I think we should have gotten at least, tried for a 2nd. If we didn't get that, then push hard for a 3rd.
Yeah.
I think getting a 6th round pick for him was a mistake. Even granted, we got a 4th round pick next year, but still, I would have pushed hard for a second and third for either this year or next year. And granted, seeing as that we don't have a second-round pick next year, that second-round pick would have been great for next year, and we don't have a first-round pick this year, I would have pushed hard for a second or a third so that we at least get another guy to fill in that spot for the first-round pick.
It's pretty much, like I said, though, at the beginning, it was one of those, we got to get something for him now.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're not going to get anything. He's just going to walk.
Yeah.
Because they knew he wasn't going to take and sign. And it's completely to that point where it was like, okay, can we get a bag of pucks and a stick right now?
Yeah. Which I think that's what we should have gotten.
And the only reason I believe he went to Florida was because his brother's a scout there.
That and I think what they're going to do is because they're losing Brian Campbell. I don't see them bringing Brian Campbell back. So I think what they wanted to do is fill in that spot with someone who I consider a better player, with about the same price range. So might as well just do it and then let Brian Campbell walk. Which I hope Gordon does not pick him up. You think no, Del Zotto was bad? Brian Campbell is bad. Brian Campbell is Del Zotto all over again.
Oh, God. We do not need another one of those.
No. And, I mean, some people are like, oh, Brian Campbell's good. He's won a Stanley Cup. It's like, yeah, but you obviously don't watch enough Panther games or anything to notice. Us being down here, I did watch quite a bit of Panther games. And he was not good. I mean, he turned the puck over more times than he should have. He's just terrible.
Well, Yandle did quite a bit of that last year, but he made up for it with the assist.
Yeah.
There were a lot of goals that he gave up in front of the net. It's to that point where right now we don't need any Michael Koskas.
No. Michael Koska, that was just an embarrassment.
Yeah, he was captain turnover.
Yeah.
But going back to the Yandle, though, I mean, if they could have traded him at the deadline, they would have gotten a lot more for him.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
But with McDonough and Girardi hurt, and the Rangers still in the playoff hunt, they had to hold on to him.
Yeah. There
was no other move they could make. No other move at all.
You can't come in my lap. No.
I don't want to come in your lap.
No, this dog thinks she's a lap dog. So.
Yeah, both my dogs are too. You met them, you know.
Yep. But
by the way, anybody, you come over to my house, you pet my dogs, you're allowed in the house.
Yeah, pretty much.
They will let you in. They won't bark at you, nothing.
Nope. But yeah,
a sandwich, you could probably take anything out of the house that you wanted to.
Yeah, I think it's time we got to start wrapping this up here. I got some things I need to do, and I want to try to get this out tonight. So.
All right. Well, tomorrow we got the draft. We're all ready and psyched for this. Hopefully, it pans out. The whole entire day for us, actually, would be nice.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Whether the Rangers pick up another first-round pick somewhere in a trade, I don't think it's going to happen.
The only way I see that happening is if we trade away Nash and another key player, say, a.k.a. Kreider or Stefan Brassard, then I
still have a feeling you won't see Stefan very much longer. Hate to say it.
Yeah.
It's our best two-way center right now.
Uh-huh.
He's great on the PK. He's great on face-offs. But they got to do something to move some money.
Exactly.
And he's the one without no trade clause or no movement clause this year. So, and he's won.
Yeah. But all right.
That's one thing you can see is somebody that's been on the team, was drafted by the team, go bye-bye.
Yeah, and I mean his father was a part of the organization as well.
Yeah.
So.
Go figure that one. Oh, we've had a lot of father and brothers on the team anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But, like you said, we'll wrap it up for now, and Well, we try to be back again in, 3 weeks?
Yeah, we'll probably we'll try to at least maybe do one a month for the off season, and then pick it up from there when the season actually starts over again.
Well, we'll also have the World Cup of hockey. We'll also have Traverse City coming up in September, along with training camp. So we'll have a lot to talk about in September.
Oh yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Don't, you're in my face. I gotta end this podcast. All right.
And just so you know, he's getting totally annihilated by the dog right now.
She's in my lap. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Enjoy your night or day whenever you are listening to this. And let's go Rangers.
Yep, let's go Rangers and stay real.